Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be an episode about the massive, monstrous, bossa nova, boss-making storm that is potentially the strongest storm I've seen in my life across the Central Plains. There's been several stronger storms across the Northeast, but in this part of the world, I don't think I've ever seen a stronger storm, and I'm just going to say that. I've been living for not too long, 15 years, so, I don't really remember the 2010 superstorm that occurred about the Central Plains, but this storm, I think, is going to be definitely comparable to that storm. It's going to be pretty much an on-land hurricane. So let's get right into the video. If you want to see more videos like this throughout the week, please consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps out a lot because then I know people are actually watching my channel, and if I know people are actually watching my channel, then there's a reason for me making the videos, if that makes sense. So please consider doing so, and let's get right into the video. So you can see it's going to be generally quiet, high pressure dominating across the eastern half of the country, especially the southeast. This is why there's a lot of rain in Southern California, because there's a low front from the high, and it's pretty much getting squashed from a low further south than the high right here, and that converges, and that just brings a lot of moisture in. But in generally quiet weather, you can see there's a little system that passes through 998, which isn't too strong, but it definitely isn't nothing. It's going to probably cause some light rain across the country, some heavier snow across Minnesota, maybe up to 5 inches of snow potential, but that blasts through and goes on. This storm right here is what it's all about. Look, 978. Those winds that are going to be coming from this storm, if you live anywhere in this region of the Midwest that I'm highlighting right now, you have cause for major concern. The winds are going to be blowing anything around, like, bear me say, but like little Legos. It's going to be blowing them around like if it's nothing. The trees are going to be toothpicks for this storm. The houses are going to be little Lego houses for this storm. This storm is a monster. 978, like I mentioned before, I don't remember it being that strong of a low on land for a long time. And for a comparison, guys, if this equivalent of this storm went on the East Coast and it had the same availability of moisture as an East Coast snowstorm, it'd be much stronger than any of the East Coast snowstorms we had so far. And I'm telling you guys, it'd be dumping 30, 40, even 45 to 50 inches of snow across the Northeast coast if it was this strong of a low happened to bomb Genesis out. So this storm is very strong, and obviously it's going to not leave 50 inches of snow in the Midwest because, it doesn't have the moisture of the sea, of the ocean. However, it could still leave up to 30 inches of snow, very heavy. The European model is even heavier with this than the GFS right now. The GFS has slightly backed down from yesterday's run, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be less than a foot of snow. Definitely going to be more than a foot of snow. By backing down, we mean a couple of inches of snow back down, not a foot. So you can see this storm just shoves. It's spinning like this. All lows spin counterclockwise. So as it's spinning here, there's snow bringing cold air from Canada, from the north, and that's causing snow on the backside. However, as it brings snow up, as it spins up, sorry, there's a phone ringing, so I'm getting distracted by that. I can't speak. But as this low rotates, the winds are bringing up moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and then they keep spinning and bringing back cold air. So that's why there's always snow on the back side of these low, on the northwestern side of the low. So you can see very heavy rain, severe weather potential. There's the low right there, actually sitting right in northwest Iowa. You live in northwest Iowa, heavy snow potential, strong winds. Just look at those snowfall totals or amounts or rates. That is insane. That is 4-6 inches of snow per hour. Now, bear in mind, these snowfall rates aren't going to keep up for several hours, but at moments time, there could be up to 4 inches of snow per hour. And then you could almost see this system kind of breaks apart, and it weakens as it crosses through the country. So that is a good news, because if it weakens, that means less threats of severe weather and storms. But you can see there's a second wave right here coming through, and it almost broke through. Here's a northern part and here's a southern part, and then the southern part just blasts through and brings another wave of snow for areas like northern Michigan, northern Maine, and for areas like Canada. This storm reaches very far north into Canada, so this is definitely something sorry, I was about to sneeze. This is something we'll pardon me. So this is a storm that we'll definitely need to watch, and we'll definitely need to keep our eyes on. So again, if you want to continue seeing these updates, please consider subscribing. And now let's get into more of the travel problems. So if you live in I-80, for example, or you're traveling along I-80 that runs from New York to about California, and that goes through central Nebraska, Iowa, northern Illinois, northern Indiana, Ohio, and as of Friday, it doesn't look to be that bad. Just strong winds, and so for high-profile vehicles, that is still fairly moderate danger. However, it doesn't seem to be much of an issue until it comes into Saturday. So you can see you're riding around I-80, you first encounter rain. You keep going further, you encounter very strong winds with rain turning over into snow. So this is definitely going to be a headache issue if you're a truck driver on any of these roads coming through. Just beware. There's going to be massive road problems, massive travel delays. It's going to be a mess, and in some cases, a disaster. So please take caution for this, and just look at the snowfall rates. Insane. And I'm going to show you the snowfall amounts right now. Total snowfall, assuming 10-to-1 ratio. You could see the snowfall totals have backed off. Right there it shows 20 inches, but mainly over a foot of snow. However, nothing as significant as they were showing earlier. Bear in mind, this is still bound to change, so I think the snowfall totals will go back up. This is from today's o'clock, 6 o'clock, which is 2 o'clock in the morning, the battle run. You could see there was more snow. Now let's go back to the 12 o'clock one, which is around, I think, 7 o'clock. This one, you could see even more snow. But if we go back to yesterday's 18 o'clock, which is around 6, so that's around 2 o'clock, you could see a lot of snow. I mean, anywhere you see that blue, that's above 24 inches. Even getting to that white area, that's around 30 inches. So definitely something we'll need to watch for. The European model is even heavier with these snowfall totals. If you want me to go on the snowfall totals, let's go to windy.com. If you want to have access to a European model, this European model is very this website has a very good European model, and you could see this just puts out a lot of snow. Look at some of these snowfall totals, 30 inches. That is insane. And keep in mind, major cities could be in line for some of these heavier snowfall totals. Minneapolis sits right around there, so that's around 10 inches. But you could quickly, if the storm shifts south, you could quickly get into the 30-inch snowfall ranges. Rapid City, again, could have another hot spot, 28 inches. Green Bay, Wisconsin, a little bit less, closer to 4, 5, 6 inches. Northwest Iowa, 17 inches, which is a lot. Nevertheless, whatever you think is considered by your bases a lot or not a lot. 17 is definitely a lot. 16, northern Michigan. So this is more confined to the northern areas. However, still a massive storm impacting this area with lots of rain. If you go on rain amounts, just look at this. This is next 10 days. Next 5 days would be more accurate. Actually, 10 days would be more accurate. So you could see some of this could release up to 2 inches of snow in Chicago. And this is equivalent around 4 inches of rain. So that would be equivalent to around 40 inches of snow. Keep in mind, 10 days out includes some other storms. However, 5 days out doesn't include the storm at all, or it includes about half of the storm. So I'd rather go with this one because it just shows you it better. You can see some of these pink areas, 4.5 inches of rain, a lot of rain. New snow exactly translates to around 30 inches. So this is definitely something we need to keep watch for. And I also like to show you the Canadian model, what it has to say. You could see definitely on the same page insane snowfall amounts across the north. I just don't remember such snowfall amounts across the north, and these snowfall amounts tend to happen not during the winter, because during the winter these storm strength just don't occur. I mean, it's either in the fall where it still has access to the Gulf of Mexico moisture, or in the spring where it starts to have access to the Gulf of Mexico moisture. So that's when the storms really start getting powerful, and this is like the time, April right now, where these storms there's still enough cold air to produce snow, and there's a lot of moisture to produce heavy snow. So these two combine, and it just produces a massive snowstorm. You could see in Canada, around, I don't know what this province this is, but I think it might be Ontario, I'm not sure. It produces 20 inches of snow, a lot of snow. And just keep in mind, guys, these weather conditions still could change. That's why I'll keep bringing you update videos. If you want to keep seeing these update videos, please consider subscribing. And that is basically it. I could show you the temperatures during this storm also. You could see fairly cold during this storm. So let's go back. You can see before the storm occurs, it's going to be very warm, 60s, 70s in front of the storm. But on the backside of it, look at that. Yeah, 6 degrees in North Dakota. So definitely something we need to watch. Just incredibly cold conditions occur for April, especially where the snow falls. So this is definitely something we need to keep watching. So winter is not over quite yet, but you can see the warmer states, the southern states, are starting to warm up, and that could lead to a little bit more hope for spring. So now let's go to the GFS and compare those temperatures to you. You could see, let's go back to the storm. Again, the temperatures do warm up quite significantly, reach about southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin border. And areas, cities like Chicago, Des Moines, Detroit will all be in warm temperatures, but then the cold comes crashing through. So if you have fragile plants outside, like cucumbers, squashes, even some citrus trees, if you're growing them indoors and you thought it would be warm enough to put them outside, don't be fooled by the warm weather for a couple of days, because the cold is definitely still going to make a comeback. But again, towards the end of April, it should start definitely much warming up. I mean, at this point, it definitely should start warming up into the 60s across much of the country once it's almost May. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll keep bringing you guys updates. See you guys on the next episode.